Hi, I'm a one-eyed mechanic who doesn't hate gay people, I just have a bad personality, Leo, and welcome to In Bed with a BL. So, after New Year's Eve, we are continuing on with our MaxTul Together With Me series, the final chapter, Together With Me, Next Chapter. So, in chronological order, we have Together With Me, Bad Romance, and Next Chapter. So this one is the last one of the three-part series. All the loose ends will get tied up. Everyone will be happy or not, who knows? And that'll be it for MaxTul until we see them again in Manner of Death. Going into this, I don't remember if you were following commercials, but they were showing lots of posters like this, which pretty much meant like, hey, you're gonna be sad. This is the sad season. And it kind of gave me weird flashbacks of like me and Mr. X, goodbye Mr. X from Blued, because all of it was sad. And I was like, is this gonna be like the third season where they just like kill everyone or everyone ends up sad and depressed? I don't know what's gonna happen, but all the posters were people crying and it made people really unhappy and nervous. And honestly, it makes sense because this is all about being sad for most of it. I kind of feel like this is just drama for the sake of drama. Which was kind of annoying at some points. Like, we'll go into it later, but like the acting is good, the chemistry is so amazing, the characters are great, but a lot of the drama and things in here felt a little unnecessary. But we'll talk about that later. This video is probably going to be a little late because Taiwan is having like a cold wave, a cold snap, cold something. It is so cold that getting out of my blankets makes me want to die. And not having my space heater right now makes me want to die. So I've been really slow in filming this because I've been sitting in my bed holding stuffed animals trying to stay alive all week. Hopefully this will end soon because I moved to a tropical country to not die of frostbite, but it seems to have followed me here, so that's depressing. I actually also am behind on Manner of Death, so that's upsetting, but that means I get a double or maybe triple feature later on, so I get to watch it a lot. But on Instagram, some of the photos are looking really interesting, and I am hoping that my dreams of an ending in a throuple will be realized, so stay tuned for that. So when we enter next chapter, we have to remember that pretty much everyone in Bad Romance is dead. They all, bye-bye Dewey, bye-bye Tanguy, bye-bye Martin, bye-bye Beauty, bye-bye James, bye-bye My Dear, bye-bye Bean. They're all gone. Goodbye. I'm really sad Beauty doesn't come back because she's the amazing tuxedo mask superhero with superpowers. So I was really looking forward to that. Doesn't happen. There are no more ghosts, there's no more magic, and there's no more murder. So this is just now like a love story with weird telenovela-esque drama without the violence. So better, worse, we don't know. The only person to survive the Thanos snap of this series is Cho, and he makes it through to have a really confusing relationship with Ihua. So the characters for this series are Ihua and Cho. Their main conflict is that Ihua cheats on Cho with this handsome guy Art, who also has a girlfriend. So Ihua is really reserved and upsetting. They kind of nerfed her in this one. She was like too powerful, Scarlet Witch-esque powerful in Bad Romance and Together With Me, that she had to be nerfed to make this plot happen, I guess. But her being reserved kind of was a buzzkill for me. Cho is delightful. He's the perfect boyfriend. He is less aggressive and just like a generic sweet boy in this one, so that's kind of cool. Though in the end, he does kick someone in the face, like Ihua in Bad Romance. So they kind of swap places. He's learning from her, she's learning from him. We also have the stars of the show, Korn and Nock, Max and Tool. So like we've been noticing in the last two videos, their romance is maybe not the most healthy. I'm kind of hypocritical for liking them, I think, because the more I rewatch it, the more I'm going, oh my god, these two maybe shouldn't be dating. So in Together With Me, Tool was the dick. Max was out and proud, he wanted to date Tool, and Tool had a girlfriend, and he did not know what he wants, so he was kind of the jerk in that one. Bad Romance, both Max and Tool were dicks. Max apparently wasn't gay anymore and didn't want anyone to know, and Tool was gallivanting, partying, and like seeing other people. So they were kind of jerks to each other. In this one, Tool is kind of a party boy again for like 30 minutes, but mostly it's Max. He does a lot of crappy things. Even though this continues more so with Together With Me, he is still not out anymore, like in Bad Romance. So we took some of these continuity errors and combined them and then made it more confusing. So his parents don't know and nobody knows again with Max's character. So he doesn't want them to know, and that causes big conflict. And then, this is a spoiler alert, but like if you follow anything in like this world, you know Max cheats on Tool with his boss, which is so weird in general. We'll talk about that later. And everyone hates him now. Like the fans hate him, everyone hates him because he does this. It's really weird. But he does that. And so those are two main dramas, is the family drama of Max, and then Max also his infidelity. It's so awkward. We also have Farm and Bright. And so as we left them off in Together With Me a long time ago, they have broken up. And then for the whole university time, I guess, that we didn't see them in Bad Romance, Farm was just being like a mega slut. He was going around, he's doing the whole cycle thing where now he's finding younger gay people and ruining their lives and having sex in the bathroom and just being like Bright. So that's really sad. Bright seems to have his own YouTube channel, or he's on Blued or something, where he does like these Skype chats, Chatterbait maybe. So he's doing all that stuff. They find each other and have this romance. But while that is happening, Farm also finds Rit, who is the sweetest, cutest person in the world, and I feel bad for him. I think I wrote like poor Rit at least 13 times in my notes while we're going through this series. On the internet, a lot of people seem to like not really like him a lot for some reason. I think because he gets in the way of Farm and Bright, but he's probably the best character in this whole series. He's super nice and understanding and does like a lot of really cool things. So if anything, like Rit is the best person ever in the show, and I hope he gets a spin-off or the actor does well or something happens, because poor Rit is so sad. We also have Fi. Fi is back. Her super cute coach boyfriend has disappeared. He did not survive the Thanos snap. Also, the random high school boy that she was dating instead of the super cool coach, his disappeared too. So she's alone. She's just kind of like a weird, oh, she's actually a ninth wheel just like me on my birthday. So I relate to Fi a lot. She's terrible at cooking. I'm amazing though, so that's a different story. But she is just kind of like there to be like the sad, lonely, single person. She is very logical. She's the Rock, so when everyone's doing all their cheating, oh, by the way, everyone in the show is cheating. Like, it's not just Max and Tool. Everyone here is struggling hardcore with their fidelity. It's just, they need drama. She's not doing anything. She's just making bad food and judging everybody. Like, you're a hoe, you're a hoe, you're a hoe. Rit, you're amazing. I love you. You're a hoe. So she's really relatable and cool. Some extra plot points that happen in the show. We have the Y Girls. The Y Girls. They have appeared in all of it. They're pretty much the fangirls for Max and Tool. And the main girl has appeared. There's like the girl with the powerful jaw. She's in all of them. We also have the three stooge mechanics that work with Cho, Max, and Tool. They hate them because they're gay or something, and they think that being gay has special treatment with the gay boss, which it does not. And let's talk about the gay boss. We have Pete, and as we talked about with Chinook and Tan Guy, he is an evil gay. So Together With Me series loves to have their evil gays. So he is not as murderous as Tan Guy was, but he is a big old creep, and he gives special treatment, or the mechanics thinks he gives special treatment to the gay guys. If I personally think that if you have a gay boss, you don't get special treatment, and it actually makes things worse for you because they're like super hard on you, and gay people are also just really catty. One of my friends from Singapore also told me that he hates having Asian bosses because he thinks they're more hard on him because they don't want to be thinking that they're giving special treatment to other Asian people. If anyone who watches this is part of like a minority, I'm curious how you feel about this. Like, I personally feel if I ever had like a gay boss or like a gay coworker who's above me, they give me like a much harder time for the same reason. So I wonder if this is the same feeling for other groups too. But yeah, you can talk about that later in the comments. Okay, at this point, I'm gonna do some spoilers because some of the stuff that happens is there's a lot like bad romance. There's some twists and turns, but it takes a really long time in the show for anything to happen. It's just like a lot of sad face montages and people being upset and making like poor life decisions for like episodes. This one is kind of long-winded. It did not need to happen this fast or this slow. So I don't know. I'm going to talk about some of the ending stuff. So I'm going to mark it here, 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 and this will be like the spoiler section because some of the ending stuff I was just like, this is really stupid. Cool. Okay, so spoilers in 3, 2, 1, go. The ending of Cho and Ihwa was really annoying. So the whole time, Ihwa had a choice between Art and Cho. Cho is an amazing, awesome person, and Art is a bad decision who also has a girlfriend and her coworker. So, you know, she should stay with Cho, but humans make bad decisions, and this is a drama, so she also has to entertain both ideas. So the whole time, Ihwa is like backing away from Cho because you think that she cheated on him. And she's like crying all the time, and she's like, I can't talk to you, I'm a dirty woman now. The last episode, we find out that she's upset because she almost slept with Art. There's like a scene where Art tried to kiss her, and she like kissed him for like 30 seconds, less than that. And then the phone rang, and she's like, oh, I have to go. And so she just thinks that like, oh, I almost slept with him, so I'm a horrible person. It's like, what? She like gave all this drama for like, it was so stupid. When I watched the show for the first time and I found that out, I was like, I shook the television. I was like, are you kidding me? Or it wasn't a TV. I shook my laptop. Are you kidding me? Like, straight people are stupid.
So gross.
They're rotten to the core.
Are sick.
And yet,
That's so stupid. Like in the show, like even MaxTul, they're like, hey, I like got gangbanged by like 37 people and killed your mom and lit a fire and killed a whole orphanage of children. But will you still love me again? Yeah, totally, I love you. This one, she's like, hey, someone kissed me and I almost slept with him, but I didn't do anything wrong. I'm gonna go kill myself now. It's like, oh God. I feel like Cho should have broken up with her just for being stupid, because that was just like really dumb. They end up together in the end. They're super happy. Cho is amazing. This maybe is her first girlfriend. I don't know. People who have their first girlfriend and boyfriends are really stupid, and don't ever stay together with your first girlfriend or boyfriend. You're gonna be dumb and you're gonna regret it. So that happened. And then we have Pete, who is like this. He's the boss. He's the boss of the company that Cho, Tool, and Max all work at. Cho, Knock, and Korn work at. I use Cho's characters' names for some reason, and then I use Max and Tool. I'm terrible, but he is the head boss of the company, and he's like a mega creep. So in the beginning, he's like, "Hey, I'm the cool boss," and you're kind of uncomfortable because it's weird. He tries to eat lunch with them, and he becomes their friend, and you know, Korn and Knock are like stupid. So all his advances, they're like, "Yeah, this is a totally normal thing. Let's do this." There's like a part where he's like, hey, do you want to like come to my house and have like a late night swim pool party with just the three of us? And that was weird. And there's a part where Tool slips and like lands on his lap, and there's like the slow Asian stare, like, oh. It was weird. And then Max is just watching like, what am I watching? What's happening here? So after the pool party, Pete starts laying it on heavy and trying to get something out of it. Eventually, Pete invites them to like his party. He's like, hey, I'm having a party, you should come. And Cho is having his drama with Ihwa, so he doesn't want to go. And then Tool, he's like fighting for another reason we'll talk about in a second, that he's fighting. So Tool went back to his parents' house. And so only Max goes. And then the party's like super awkward because he has like a spread and glasses and wine, but it's just two people. So already watching this, it's like really awkward and depressing. You're like, oh, sugar, this is so uncomfortable. If I was there, I would want to kill myself. Later we find out it's not a birthday party for him, it's a death day party for his boyfriend. He's celebrating the day his boyfriend died. So Max is mega uncomfortable, and that's weird. And then Pete starts laying out even more heavy. He's like, oh my god, my boyfriend's dead, and you're fighting with your boyfriend, and I'm drinking, and I'm vulnerable. And then they have sex. It was super awkward. But Max was like also really upset because him and Tool are fighting. So that happens, and then, he wakes up. Max wakes up in the morning. Max is also the top, so it's easier for him. Pete obviously planned this because you can't always just bottom by surprise. So Pete went to this birthday party, this death day party, with a plan. Yeah, so Max is really upset. It's really upsetting because while this was happening, we were flashing back to Tool, who went to his parents' house to tell his parents that he is gay and loves Max. So no matter what happens in this series, in this show, this is one of the best series ever because it has accepting parents. The scene where Tool tells his parents that he's gay and they accept him is like the best thing that ever happened. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before, like when I first saw the series, and honestly even after. Like, this was so good. His parents had the pinnacle of perfect reaction of a parent. So before this even happened, they were suspecting that he was gay. So even though they do it in dumb ways and they're dumb parents, they like try their best. They like look up gay stuff online. I think they were watching gay porn at one point. So they're doing their own research before Tool comes out, which is like pinnacle what a parent should be doing. So that is amazing. And then he comes out, he's really sad, he's like already misty-eyed, and they start talking about like moments when they're proud of him as a child. And watching this, I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna like hate him, they're gonna like punch him in the face. And then Tool's like, oh, we were talking about this and now you're gonna say I'm a failure. It was like American Idol level stress of like what's gonna happen. And then they're like, but we love you, why in God's name would we hate you? Like, it's fine, like live your dream. We love you, we support you, do whatever you want. And Tool starts crying, I start crying, even rewatching it, I start crying. It's amazing. They're like, you can do no wrong, we love you, we're your parents, which is literally like how parents should react. And like later on this series, Max's dad, we'll talk about in a second, is like a dick. And whenever there's problems, like they defend their son and they're like, no, it's fine, whatever, you're a jerk, like you should love your child, whatever. So the fact that they like are open to Tool being gay and then also defend him when he's not around, like they are pinnacle gold star parents. And no matter like how I feel about the series and some of the stupid stuff that happens in this series, like the fact that that was there makes this like amazing. It's perfection. This one scene makes it skyrocket into amazingness. And we already know, I talked about this before, but like Max and Tool are already pretty open about LGBT stuff in the real world. So this happening and their allegiance to the LGBTQ world is awesome. So yeah, the parents. But Pete, it also turns out, is like a serial sexual assaulting creepy guy. So after this happens with Max and Tool, Tool, they like fight, Max and Tool fight. They fight, argh. And then Tool goes and tries to do that. And then Pete lays on heavy with Tool, but Tool can't do it. And they always zoom in on this freaking deer, this golden deer. And I hate this. Maybe because it's a buck and that sounds like something else. I don't know. But I hate that stupid golden deer. But then he tries to sleep with Tool, and then he tries to sleep with Cho. And then Cho is like, I'm not having this. I've been hanging around with Ihua. I know how to Harry the Spy this. I'm going to figure out what's going on. And pretty much Pete has been like sexually assaulting all of his employees and saying like, oh, I'll get you a promotion if you sleep with me, which is mega creepy and horrible. And he like fires people he doesn't like, whatever. He's just like evil gay. We know about this. So they hatch this like really weird plot to like get him fired. I don't really know what went on. There's parts where Cho is like shirtless. I don't know what's happening. It's really weird, but they show him a book that's like, you shouldn't sexually assault your coworkers, which I don't understand why they all need to like pretend to have like a four-way sexual intercourse to do this, but live your dream. Cho kicks him in the face, just like Ihua did to Tan Guy. It was amazing, it was magical, it happened. So eventually they like call like legal people and they're like, he's doing this. And they save the world. They save the mechanic Jay, who used the wrong oil in the machine, but it turned out it was Pete. And then all that like wraps up nice. It wraps up nicely, and it was weird, but whatever. It's a show. Who knows? But yeah, so that happens. Pete gets knocked away. The Y girls all yell at him. Everyone yells at him. He's unhappy. He has a bruise, but I don't know. He's gonna be fine. But they solve that problem. Max's dad. So he is like the first problem. This is a problem. Your family gets Facebook and finds you online, and he chose like the worst picture ever. He's like angry old man picture. He starts commenting. He finds the fan page of MaxTul. Is like, what the heck is this? You're queer? And then Max goes into like super protective mode. He kicks Tool out of the house. So Max is mega dick for this. So Tool, it's understandable why Tool is kind of annoyed, but they're fighting, they're squabbling, and this whole thing causes huge problems. It's really annoying, but his dad's like a giant dick. There's like this weird montage where like he's going through Max's stuff, like toys, manly toys. Like there's a gun and baseball mitt. And he's like crying. He's like, "Oh, my son is now a woman, I guess." I don't know. But then he tries to like light them all on fire as like his son is dead to him now. This guy's like such a drama queen. And he turns into like a major messy queen because like later on in the show, Max goes to Tool's parents and he's like, "Oh my god, I love your son," blah blah blah. And then messy queen dad comes and he's like, "Oh, if you really love their son, why did you cheat on him?" And like he spills the tea everywhere. They cause a huge fight. This guy is like so extra. Eventually he comes around after Max gets in a motorcycle accident. It's really stupid. He's like, "You're a terrible thing, but I guess I love you." Maybe. I don't know. It was very wishy-washy. He was afraid, and he has all these nightmares that Max is going to become a woman and dress like a woman, be a drag queen, because that's like straight parents' worst nightmares, like you wearing a dress, I guess. Ugh. Could be a murderer, but wearing a dress is worse. Little did you know that this would happen. Super cool. Yay, lip syncing. So, Farm and Bright, they end up together. Super cool. Rit is the best thing ever. Poor Rit. Poor Rit. Poor Rit. Poor Rit. Poor Rit. Farm has this whole thing where like anytime Bright is mentioned, he goes to like Kill Bill mode, and like he has this whole plan where he's gonna like lure Bright back in and then like crush his heart, and he finds Rit and uses Rit to do that. So he's dating Rit, sleeping with Bright, and then tells them both he's gonna be their boyfriend. And then one day he tells Bright, he does like the heart stab, where he's like, "Oh, Dr. Bright, this is my boyfriend, Rit." Huh. And Bright is like, "What the hell, dude? This is just freaking rude." And then it was really awkward. And then he also like messes up Bright's car. Like we've all been there. I've done that to people. Like I've had, one of my coworkers was way too touchy, so I ran his car into an island and destroyed the whole under part. But kill a man where he's weak. But yeah, he does that. It's super weird. But eventually Rick catches on that he's being cheated on too. So he has this whole long-winded plan to get them back together because he's an angel, and he's like, "Okay, you obviously don't love me, so I'm going to get you with who you love because I am like a martyr." There's people online who seem to like not like Rit because he gets in the way. I don't understand this. Rit is like the most perfect person ever. I remember when they were doing like the ads, and I was like, "Who's this little douchebag who's gonna get in between this like toxic couple that I adore?" And it turned out to be Rit, and I ship him probably the most out of anyone in the series right now because he turns out to be dope. At the end, he's like crying a lot. There's this weird scene where he breaks up with Farm on their like beach day. So he's with all of his friends. He's with Farm's friends, no one he knows. And he's like, "Hey, I just broke up with your friend, but like let's hang out." And it was super awkward. He like cried on the beach. He told Farm to like play the song that was all about him being broken up with, essentially. This poor angel. And then he like runs away. And then they just keep flashing back to him like in episode 12 and 13 just crying by himself, or because they just want to hurt everyone, I guess. I don't know. But at the end he loses his basketball and a mysterious man gives it to him. And I like to pretend that's Mew from Together With Me, because Mew turned out to be awesome and I want Mew to be happy. And Rit turned out to be awesome and I want Rit to be happy. And it could be Mew. So in my world, Mew and Rit are now dating and they're beautiful and they're happy and they're gonna have their own spin-off show. So watch that one. So it turns out the Y girls, Wanwan and Nunu, were working with the original Y girl. And there's this whole reveal where she's like, haha, because Wanwan is going the extra mile and trying to destroy MaxTul so she can date Tool, because she's just like her uncle Pete, she's a messy bitch. She's a thirsty bitch. But luckily, the original girl comes back and stops her from her evil plan. And there's like this weird like administration Facebook page hacking war, which was really stupid, kind of funny. So that's there. I'm glad that she is kind of like a background character in all of it. That's like the only continuity in this whole show is this one girl. Everything else is like all over the place, but this one girl, she is there. She's a fan. She's got it. So good for you. I'm gonna give the show a 7 out of 10. It's better than Bad Romance because it has a more solid storyline. But I feel like the drama was forced in a lot of situations. Like I feel like Ihwa's whole problem didn't need to happen. I feel like Farm's character to like this evil sex monster was a little annoying, and I feel really bad for what he did to Rit, and also like a lot of the fans not liking Rit really made me upset. Max and Tool's problems were a little tedious. Like they're like probably not a good gay couple. I don't understand why I like them. It has to be the actors. It's so weird. Like when you just think about the story, like in Together With Me, you had Tool and he's like, hey, it's the generic story, hey, I like you, but I'm gonna keep my girlfriend because I don't know if I want to commit to being gay. And you're like, okay, whatever. And then his girlfriend's like insane, and tries to like get them murdered. And then in Bad Romance, like they're both just being horrible to each other. So that's like a whole messy thing. And in this one, Max like actually cheats on him, and then the whole family dynamic where he's pushing Tool away. And then he does this weird thing where I think Type, I think it's Type from Charm Type, the one that like hates gay people. I think it's Type. Type takes notes from Max because there's a scene where Tool is angry, and Max is like, "No, you don't get to be angry. I'm a dick now." And he like destroys his underwear and puts his toothbrush in the toilet, and just like what's going on here? What are you doing? So because he's being a jealous little bitch. So I feel like Type has been watching the show, even though he hates gay people, and that's the way he acted like a horrible monster in Charm Type. But that was weird. But the actors are great. Like they're super cute. So I guess I have to look past it because they're really good together. But yeah, they're messy. Like this whole show. And when people watch this one season of Next Chapter, they're like, oh my god, this is like the real gay drama. This is like the honeymoon is over. Blah 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 blah. This is upsetting, but like I don't think the honeymoon ever started. Like if you watch all these shows, like they were unhappy, unhealthy, and messed up the entire time. Like I know like straight people, they think cheating is like the worst thing ever. Like I've had people cheat on me. It really sucks. But like I don't know, having my boyfriend's girlfriend hire people to murder me, I'd rather have my boyfriend cheat on me because that's just like a douchey thing that everyone knows how to deal with. But having like a crazy Legion of Doom set of thirsty girls trying to like murder me and my friends takes the cake. Or having like ghosts try to murder you, or like Phantom of the Opera with acid spray trying to kill you. So I feel like the cheating was really like the least amount of their problems, but people react out the most because I guess it's like the most realistic. But I digress. I also didn't like how they nerfed Ihwa. Like in 1 and 2, in Bad Romance and Together With Me, she's like this awesome, super awesome person. And this one, she's just like sad all the time for like a really stupid thing. Like I got mad when she cheated. The whole time I thought she cheated. And then it turns out like when we find out what actually happened, it was like really lackluster and stupid. And so the whole time she's upset about this. And so she's not like being cool. She has great outfits. She has really awesome purses. So just watch it for the cool purses she has, the outfits she wears. And she still is fun. She colors her hair, but it was kind of lame. So that wraps up our Together With Me triple section. I hope you watch it and you enjoy the series. I actually really, really like this series. I am biased. And like I said, watching it back, I don't understand why I liked it so much because it's kind of unhealthy. But the acting is fun, and there's so much like stupid zaniness that goes on with it. Like at the end, super spoiler warning, at the end, the two dads, they're like best friends again because they're like, yeah, your sons are gay. They drink heavily and end up naked together. So you can watch the spin-off series, Geriatric With Me, that will come in 2022 maybe, because that was weird. But yeah, it's okay. It's fun. It's stupid fun. The humor in the show is really good. Like they do all these horrible things. The characters are pretty terrible people, but there's a lot of humor in it, which makes it like really enjoyable. And it's dumb slapstick. Like some of the other dramas, there's not that much humor, and they're just like really sad and mean to each other all the time. This one, the characters are fun and enjoyable, so I think you can look past it. And it's a drama. You need the stupid stuff for it to be a fun drama. So I recommend it. I recommend Manner of Death. Yeah, so next week we'll be dealing with something else. I think I'm going to do an American movie this time. So check that out, and I hope you guys can stay warm because it is really cold here, and wearing a tank top right now, I feel like I'm going to die. So I'll see you next week. Stay safe, wear a mask, and bye. And don't forget to like and subscribe because you should do that. Follow me because I like attention. Bye.